All right, so today we're diving into something really cool. It's this groundbreaking interactive documentary called Dreamscapes. And get this, it's not just about the science of dreams. It promises to take you on a journey right into your own subconscious.
The whole thing kicks off with this idea, right? Every night, your brain creates universes. It's simple, but man, is it profound. It sets the tone perfectly. It's a reminder that the craziest, most incredible virtual worlds, they're not made with code. They're built right inside our heads while we're asleep.
So that naturally leads to the big question, the one this whole project is built around. What if you could actually step inside one of those worlds? We're not talking about just watching a movie here. This is about literally breaking through that screen and becoming an explorer.
And that's what Dreamscapes is all about. It totally flips the script. You're not just a viewer anymore sitting back on the couch. No way. You become a participant. The choices you make are actually going to shape your unique journey through the science and, the mystery of it all.
Okay, so how does this whole thing work, right? Well, your journey ticks off right at the very beginning with a massive choice. And this one choice, it's going to define everything that comes next.
Right out of the gate, you get these 3 paths to choose from. So what are you in the mood for? Do you want to explore why we dream? Or maybe you want to learn how to take control, lucid dreaming? Or are you feeling brave enough to dive into nightmares and sleep disorders? Whatever you pick, that's what sets your whole story in motion.
But here's the thing. It doesn't matter which path you go down. The documentary gives you these amazing tools to really get your hands dirty with the material. You basically get to, hack the dreamscape for yourself.
First up is something called the Dream Diary Challenge. It works with a companion app, and this is where things get really personal. It's where your experience starts to blend right into the documentary itself. And how it works is just fascinating. You just type in fragments from your own dreams. I don't know, something like, I was flying over a city. And then an AI takes that text and generates this completely surreal animation based on it. So all of a sudden, your dream is up on the screen, and it's being analyzed and compared to the neuroscience behind it. It's an incredible way to make something so abstract feel incredibly personal.
Okay, but it gets even more immersive from there. If you pick that lucid dreaming path, you get to enter this lucid dream simulator. Think of it like a VR experience where you're just dropped right into the middle of this impossible, totally surreal landscape.
And you have a mission, a goal. It feels like a game, really. Your objective? Hack your own subconscious. You have to prove that you know you're dreaming. So here's the deal. You get these prompts, challenges to do things that, you can only do in a dream, like flying or changing the color of the sky. And when you pull it off, let's say you choose to fly and it works, the documentary just seamlessly cuts to neuroscientists explaining what's happening in your brain right at that moment. They'll talk about how your frontal cortex is lighting up as you become self-aware. It's so cool. But, it's not all just blissful flying and changing the sky. If you had decided to go down the nightmare path, the whole vibe changes. It gets intense. It becomes this powerful tool for understanding fear and even therapy.
In this section, you're put into a really tense, anxiety-inducing situation. And to make it even more real, the system can actually use your phone's camera to read your heart rate, and then it syncs the intensity of the story to your body's real-time reaction. Wild, right?
And then comes the critical moment. You have to make a choice. Do you run from the threat, or do you turn and confront it? And this isn't just for a cool story moment. Each choice is directly tied to real-world psychology. If you run, the documentary explains avoidance coping. But if you confront it, it shows you the exact kinds of strategies that are taught in therapy for things like PTSD.
So, after these super intense personal experiences, the documentary kind of zooms out. It goes from your individual mind to this bigger question: what connects all of us in our dream worlds? And it answers that question with something called the Global Dream Map. It's this live, interactive feature where you can anonymously submit your own recurring dreams and watch them pop up on a map of the world right alongside everyone else's.
And what you start to see almost immediately is incredible. These universal patterns, these dream archetypes, they show up everywhere, in every culture. You know the ones: teeth falling out, falling, being chased. It's like these shared stories are proof that Carl Jung's whole idea of a collective unconscious might just be alive and well today.
And then the whole thing builds to its climax. It moves past explaining the science we know now and forces you, the participant, to grapple with the huge ethical questions of what might come next.
So your last challenge isn't about flying or facing a nightmare. It's an ethical one. You're presented with this idea. What about technology that can record our dreams? And you have to weigh the pros and cons. I mean, on the one hand, think about it. It could be this incredible tool for curing trauma or unlocking creativity. But on the other hand, it could be the ultimate form of surveillance, the most intimate kind of manipulation imaginable.
And that's where Dreamscapes leaves you. It doesn't give you the answer. It ends with this incredibly powerful question. It puts you in the driver's seat, making you the one who has to decide. And it leaves you thinking about what it all means for privacy, for therapy, for what it even means to be human, long, long after you've finished.